When it comes to improving your dating life, I think it is important to double down on your output when you hit a patch of confidence and success. And I think that sitting back and resting on your laurels for too long is a bit of a disaster. I want you to ride that momentum the second you catch it. If you don't know who I am Cameron. I'm Andy's co-coach in his coaching program. And today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite topics in self-improvement, which is under the general umbrella of momentum. I think momentum is an underappreciated part of any guy's self-improvement journey. We see it in the coaching program all the time. The guys who achieve the most in their months in the program tend to have caught a really good wave of momentum. They get a load of wins kind of back to back to back, and it all compounds into this crazy run of success. It's incredible what it does for you because it's like a virtuous cycle. Like you take some action, you get some great results, you get confidence, you have the momentum to go into do even more action, which then gives you more confidence, gives you more momentum, it just keeps on going, and the virtuous cycle just rises and rises and rises. And it's amazing. And I think this is so important in dating specifically because of how confidence can play into your dating results too. If you are in a situation where you're gaining more and more confidence, that makes you more attractive. That generally makes you do better, makes you a bit like ballsier, makes you a bit more direct, gives you a bit more, what we call it, killer instinct, in like knowing when it's good to go for a situation with a girl that you're seeing, or if you meet a girl in the street or in a nightclub. Having that confidence gives you the momentum to actually go for more ballsy moves. So confidence has such a big part in dating success that when you're feeling that confident, when you have that success, I want you to double down on your output. I want you to look at what you're doing and be like, I'm feeling really confident. I'm having a good run right now. Double your output. Look at what outputs you have down. Like a lot of guys who do really well at this, they kind of know what their like day-to-day outputs are. It's usually like a number of approaches. Some guys spend 30 minutes on the apps, all that stuff. Just double everything. Try and ride the hot streak. Try and ride the momentum. Because if you double down in these situations, you might break forward to new levels that you didn't think was really possible. You might have looked at some of the stories that Andy has, of guys getting laid like 3 times a week, having threesomes, building incredible relationships, exploring their kinkier side, all the stuff that like these clients that Andy has talked to and the stuff they've achieved. You may be going into dating thinking that's not going to be what you can achieve personally or what you can do. But it's in these like confident, success-ridden streaks that you have, these golden periods that you have, where you will break through to the stuff that you didn't think that you could personally do. And you'll have the momentum and the confidence to actually ride through the uncertainty. So like a lot of those times when you're faced with, a situation you didn't think you were possible for you to create, you might have doubts and you might have anxiety and you might be scared to, go for what you want. But if you have, if you're riding like bulletproof and like that confidence, you're going to go for it. That's what's amazing about it. Like, it's like, as I said, it's a massive amplifier and virtuous cycle, which is why, again, I want you to double your output when you feel this way, when you're having these wins, even if they're small wins, especially in the beginning, when like the win is just being able to talk to a woman. If you go out and you finally manage to make, success with an approach, aim for 2 the next day. Try and build on the momentum. At least go for another approach the next day. What I don't want you to do is rest on laurels. At least go for another approach the next day and trying to string maybe a week together where you've done approaches every single day for a week. Because how great are you going to feel on the Sunday having approached every single day that week? You're going to be fucking proud of yourself and hyper confident and starting to feel like you have the hang of your anxiety a little bit. And this is where I also want to talk about the problem I see and why I'm so in favor and pushing this really hard is the resting on your laurels issue. And this is something I want to talk about because I personally have found this a problem with myself. This is, I think, but I also think it affects a lot of people. I don't think it's just me. I don't think it's down just to dating. This is all of self-improvement, all of, chasing goals is you want to lock up your wins and then kind of just sit on them for a while and feel that good feeling. It's you've achieved something, say you finally lost your virginity, or you finally had sex with 2 girls in one weekend or something like that. And you just want to kind of enjoy the feeling of being proud of it, being like, hey, I did this thing that I didn't think I could do. I just want to bask in the glory of this, in the afterglow, and just, enjoy it. And if you do that for too long, the momentum goes, the confidence goes, and you hit like a wall of trying to return. And I think that's the biggest problem I had personally with a lot of my stuff, in finances too, in like business, in the gym. I just didn't understand the importance of like doubling down on the momentum, doubling down on my confidence streaks, because it goes away. Like it's like an ebb and flow, momentum and confidence, they're not the same, but they kind of do the same thing. Are they up and down, up and down? You can go to sleep and wake up the next day and just not have that positive feeling that you had the day before. And like, that's just the way we work as humans. That's the way we work, I guess, as men. I don't know what the female experience of this is, not being one, but like the idea is like, it's all, I'm assuming they're the same, where it's like up and down, undulating. That's why me and Andy talk about, minimum output. When you wake up on the days where you have no motivation, it's because, so you have the minimum output, so you always get something done. It's like easy to do when you have zero motivation. Confidence is just like the same thing. You want to be able to do stuff when you have zero confidence. And because you're going to end up in situations where the confidence goes away and there's no real reason for it, that's why I want you to double down when you have it. You're still going to be able to do stuff when you lack confidence. I think that's one of the things that builds confidence, is when you do stuff when you have no confidence. That's the interesting thing about it. Like the days you wake up, you're like, I really don't want to do this, but you go out and do it anyway. Suddenly a lot of it comes back. But I want to, I'm going to go in, it's a completely different topic. Like today, I just want to talk about, doing shit when you're running hot, like really fighting the urge to stop and just like lock up that win and just enjoy it. No, we can keep going. And I'm not saying here, don't celebrate your achievements. I think Andy and I would ever say that. We're always bigging people up in the group. We're always celebrating achievements. But part of the reason I think Andy and I celebrate achievements, not just to like, it's not just a case of trying to, give them a positive feeling and have them enjoying their self-improvement journey. Because Andy and I, are big on like not having to suffer through your self-improvement journey. But we're also like giving them reward. Like when you celebrate someone, you're kind of rewarding them for the effort. Like we're always celebrating effort. We're always celebrating. If a guy goes out and talks to a girl or just says hello to a random stranger and they got outside the house for the first time that day, that week, that month, whatever, we will celebrate them to the fucking like hilt. We'll go really hard. And part of that is to try and like force some momentum into their lives and give them something to like look forward to when they achieve something and they come to tell us, and we be super excited. And they know that if they achieve something, Andy and I will be there like cheerleading them, telling them how fucking great they are for what they did. And like, it's part of that is to give them, a little bit of incentive. They're going to feel hyped up and have that momentum from myself and Andy, because that's the vibe we're trying to like, fuel into them. And I think it's good to do that. But also there's a caveat that Andy and I will try and ramp it up a little bit. So once someone's achieved something, we'll celebrate them, and then we'll be like, okay, now we're going to do like 1.1 times that. We're going to ramp you up to something else. So you went and gave a few girls some compliments. Now you're going to tell them that you think they're cute. Now you're going to ask them for their number, and if they're single, you're going to ask them if they're single and can you have their number. That's like ramping up from whatever they did before. And it's always a case of celebrate and then challenge. Celebrate, then challenge to a new goal. I think it's encouraging a mindset within guys to, when they get to the end of a goal, it's like, okay, I achieved this. What is the next goal? This also helps stop, the inertia feeling of, having achieved something, and you have this inertia of like, oh, what next? Like, I think if you're always like trying to set new goals, you're always trying to move on, you're always trying to ride momentum into something else. You're not seeing like this goal is like the end goal. I mean, there are things, where like this is the end goal of like, I'm only going to get to here and no further. Fair enough. But a lot of the goals that we work on with guys, like improving sex life, like making more money, there's no real end goal. Like the guys have targets they want to hit, but it's like, it's all building. A lot of the guys we coach are like in the early stages of a lot of their stuff as well. So it's a lot of like, there's a lot of ground to run into, and you just want to keep going and keep building momentum and keep breaking new ceilings and keep setting new targets and new goals. So yeah, that mindset I think is really important of, I achieved this small goal that I set. What's next? Okay, let's move straight into that. We'll celebrate as we're going. Celebrate as you're moving. I like that. Celebrate as you have momentum. I have one more note here, which is ignore the talk of overconfidence. I think there's not anything like dating where I can't see an argument for why overconfidence in dating is bad. If you have one, leave it in the comments. I legitimately, I was thinking about this today. I was like, is there any time where overconfidence is going to really fuck you over? Unless you have like, I know, shady ethical practices. Okay, that's a judgment on other people's ethics. But if you're going for like married women and like trying to get girls to cheat and stuff like that, I do kind of look down on your ethics. I don't think that's not someone I want to coach or teach. So that's fair enough. And I guess if you're overconfident in like your ability to attract women, you would probably like think I can break this girl away. Okay, there is one. There you go. There enough. But that's outside the ethical realms of anything I would consider doing. So I don't really think of it like that. I'm thinking within my ethical framework, is overconfidence a problem? And I literally can't think of an idea of a time when it would be. Like I actually can't, because like what you can do, just go for the hottest girls. Cool, go for the hottest girls. You're gonna try and talk to a load of girls like in one day and like go like 150 approaches. Fucking go for it. Like I really can't. I think this is one of those ones where like overconfidence is never gonna really be a negative, because all the guys you would see as arrogant, do they ever have any problems with girls? Really, they don't. I guess it can make you act like a real asshole. But like even then, like I knew a lot of assholes growing up and they all got laid a ton. And like Andy and I don't really do that. We're like, we're decent guys who like treat everyone really well and still get laid a ton. That's like kind of like part of what we do. Especially like the guys we teach, like as well, the guys who come into the group, they're all solid dudes with like, they treat everyone really well. A lot of them are like, non-aggression. They believe in like the non-aggression principle, they're like kind of libertarian leaning. They don't want to harm people. And like, I can't see overconfidence being a problem with those guys. You know what I mean? Overconfidence is a problem when you're doing something dangerous. And like, there isn't a huge amount of danger involved in trying to improve with online dating and trying to improve with approach, trying to improve out in the night scene. So yeah, don't worry about being overconfident. Double the fuck down and just ride and just see how far you can rise. See how many like dreams you can achieve and like ceilings you can break and stuff you didn't think was possible. Keep going for it. Keep going till you get what you want. If you're at the beginning of your journey and you want to kickstart it, I would recommend having a look at the ebook that Andy and I wrote together. It's all aimed at more inexperienced guys. The title of the book is like How to Get Laid in 6 Weeks, but the subtitle is for inexperienced guys and even virgins. And like, it's all about, taking guys who are a bit beaten up and a bit like they felt like maybe they've been ignored, maybe they just didn't have any opportunities, maybe they're a bit younger, taking you guys through the basic steps, trying to get you to getting laid as quickly as possible if that's what you want. So check out the ebook in the links down below. I'll see you guys next time.